Hi, I'm Brian Lord, Senior Vice President here at Premier Speakers Bureau, and I'm happy to have with us today John Foley, who is the former lead solo pilot of the Blue Angels. He's got 3 masters from Stanford, has also worked with venture capital firms, and is one of the most in-demand speakers in America. So John, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks, Brian.
Now, one of the things that a lot of people don't know about you, obviously Blue Angels, that's very obvious, but you were one of the pilots that actually flew, that's on camera flying on Top Gun.
Yes.
What was that? How'd you get there, and what was that like?
Well, I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. So we were off the coast of Southern California. It was back in the mid-'80s, and Hollywood comes out and wanted to film this movie called Top Gun. So I got to do some of the real flying in that movie. In fact, when you see that movie next time and you see the catapult shots, you'll probably see me going off the cap. But not just me, it's my teammates. And what's really cool is we got to go inside, behind the scenes, into Hollywood and show them our world. And they were blown away. It was pretty cool.
And what's kind of one thing, I know that you're always on the lookout for excellence. What's one sort of excellence thing you took away from that experience?
Well, that it involves a team. I mean, even in Hollywood and in my world, yes, you have the actors, you have the pilots, but it's the whole support structure that makes it really real. And I talk about that in my talks is high performance teamwork and high performance trust.
Now, you were one of the very first people. Also, it's an amazing thing watching it in there, but kind of breaking barriers with the Soviet Union.
Yes.
You were one of the very first people, or the very first person, I think you said, to fly with that group. And going behind the scenes there, what's one of the, maybe the most surprising thing that you found out when you were there?
Well, that we're more similar than we are dissimilar people. This is back in 1992 when the Berlin Wall had just come down in '89. There's a lot of change going on in the world. As a Blue Angel, we call ourselves ambassadors of goodwill. So I went to the boss and said, "Boss, we got to go to Moscow. Come on." And we put the team, the plan together, and we flew over there, not just Moscow, all Eastern Europe. And what was really powerful is the thirst in people's eyes. They wanted to change. They were really looking forward. And we got to be these ambassadors. Now, we did it through flying in jets. And that was cool. I mean, I flew Valery Miniski, the hero of the Soviet Union, in my back seat. I got to fly in his back seat. We tell a little story about knocking him out and him trying to knock me out, and all kinds of things. But what I left there with was a deep feeling, and you saw the picture. We're arm in arm, and we really connected to the heart, not the head. And I know we can do that again. We can do that again all around the world. That's what I show in my talks, is that we are connected. People are.
Now you've been incredibly successful and an incredibly high performer, and you're just talking about that with these people, that you're more similar than you are different. When you're talking with people in the audience who maybe they're just out of college, or maybe they've been kind of stuck in a rut in a while, how are you similar to them as opposed to being different? Because they may look at you and see that you're so different from them. How do you connect with that person?
Well, we go behind the scenes, right? So first off, I talk about my failures, not my successes, and I had a ton of them. Overcoming obstacles, but having a goal as a little boy, 12 years old, wanting to be a Blue Angel, got there, made it happen, but it sure didn't happen the way I expected. So a lot of rejection, a lot of difficulties, which we all have. Then the other thing I like to do is when I show what's really like behind the scenes of the Blue Angels, I make it real. It's not like, oh, here's somebody talking about it. It's like, no, here's how it's meaningful to you. And what I focus on is the idea of creating beliefs, getting people committed and aligned to their own beliefs or the team's. Focus. How do you focus? How do you prepare the mind? I talk about that. I talk about alignment. How do we get people aligned, working together? Execution. But I talk about execution through high trust. How do you build these trusting agreements? Everybody has these, right? And then I take you really deep behind the scenes in the Glad to Be Here debrief, and we talk about how to get better. And it's really about humility. It's about checking your ego at the door. It's about owning things, fessing and fixing. And so it's very unique, but it's not unique to how all high performers think. And what we do is we break it down to really it's all how all people should think. So it's the process and the mindset.
Now, one of the things that we do here at Premier for you, the event planner, we always want to make sure that you look good and we make your life easier. So, John, how do you do that when you're working with an event planner?
Well, we take deep concern into making it the best events ever. We want that to be the wow event, right? The awe. And we do that through, production, of course. I got hot video, I'm inspirational, all that kind of stuff. But no, I have a team. So number one, we're working together. We'll have a briefing call. We'll actually send out a briefing document. But what's really unique about that is we actually customize it deeply to what are the objectives, and most importantly, what's the feeling you want after this event. Then I'll come in early. I'll come in as early as I can. I'll stay as long as I can. I interact with your audience both before and afterwards. Of course, afterwards they want more. They start to really get to know you. We have the ability to bring these glad to be here stickers. So it's not just a keynote speech. What you're getting is an experience. And in fact, you're getting someone who cares. Do over 100 of these a year. So I know how to do them, and I know who the audience is, and I know who the customer is, and that's you. I want you to have the most successful event ever. We'll do whatever it takes to get there.
So thank you again for watching this. If you click on the link below, you can check out more information, bio, speech topics, videos. For John, also make sure to subscribe to this channel for more interviews. So John, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.